to throw all this hate in the rear view. No doubt you'll need someone beside you who's come to terms with all this shit you say and do. We've been running for so long, forgotten how to get along. Staying with you feels so wrong, but I know you stay on my mind. You're so sick, you make me itch.
Fuck the intro. Shut up. Hello, guys. I'm not okay. I'm annoyed. I'm not putting the background lights on either. I'm keeping it dark because I'm annoyed and this represents my heart. Yeah? I'm overreacting a little bit. Hello, guys. An annoying game has just transpired and I'm upset for a myriad of reasons. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend an hour or so talking about it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We bottled it in the dying embers of the match. That's always fun, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lot that I'm not happy with that I want to talk about. I will need to rewatch it, and I will calm down, I'm sure. It's very hard to be measured, and perhaps I shouldn't even be going live. It's very hard to be measured straight after we fucking capitulated like that. So right now I'm struggling. I felt after the Sunderland game, I was like, okay, but you know, we missed all the chances all the time, so it's not a problem. It will be fine. Like, we controlled the game outside of that, really, and it's not a problem. This one's annoyed me a lot more. A lot more. And I can't really... I can't even pretend to suggest that I am happy about it. I think the main reason why I'm not happy about it is because, and Yahir's just said it there, Foden and Shirky, who I believe are two of our best players today, were shocking in that second half, and it was outrageous how bad both of them were with simple actions. I'm not upset about not being able to finish a tricky chance or not being able to play a tricky ball. I'm annoyed at really basic shit that should be done and wasn't on any level. True Citizen says Shirky's worst game by country mile, and I think it was Foden's as well. And I think it's the first time where we've had a game where they've both been bad at the same time. We've maybe had like a game where one's been subpar, but the other one's been good, and that sort of thing. But they were both bad today, and they were both really bad in that second half, and that's ultimately why we got shafted. We'll talk about that, and they weren't the only ones, in fairness. Like, Haaland was also really, really bad in the second half. Also, Bernardo was terrible in that second half. And then the individual actions for their goal as well. Yeah, Rodri was brilliant, at least. That's a thing. That's a thing. I have put on the thumbnail horrible second half. And that is because I actually felt we played well in the first half. To be fair, I thought basically everyone played at least good in that first half. Even the two players who I've just had a go at there for their second half, Shirky and Foden. Foden wins it back in the build-up to the goal, and then Shirky, okay, the pass doesn't reach the target, but he fizzes it in, and Badiashile can't do anything about it, and it's a really good finish from Reinders. So at least the two players I've just had a go at there, they were at least involved in that first half with Foden winning it back and then Shirky's ball sort of forcing that. So I felt we did a lot of good stuff in that first half. We created a good number of chances, and I'll repeat, the two players who I've had the most of a go at, I thought actually were quite good in that first half. Like that Foden one where he controls the ball brilliantly and the shot is just wide. That was fantastic. There was one where Shirky sets up or nearly sets up Haaland, I think, but the touch isn't quite good enough. I don't think I'm misremembering. There was one where like Foden flicked it back for Haaland in that first half as well. So there were a lot of good moments in the first half. So basically, whenever I'm going to be having a go at the team in this stream, it's going to be the second half, because I felt that the first half were actually good, to be honest with you. Yeah. So basically all my criticism is just about the second half in all honesty. I'll repeat, it's the first game this season I can think of where both Foden and Shirky have been both subpar. I feel like if there's been a game where one's been subpar, then the other one has been at least good, or preferably great as well. I think it was against what's an example I'm trying to think of. I don't know. I can't think of the matches right now because my brain is fried. But there was I think it was the Bournemouth game where one of them wasn't good, but the other one was good. And I'm sure there are other examples, but my brain is fried and I can't really think. Can't really think anymore. So it's bad that they were both bad at the same time. If they're both bad at the same time, then we play like shit. And that's what happened in the second half. The first half, that there were some good bits in that first half. Again, like, I really wanted to spend today's stream talking about the usage of Reinders and how he took on the left wing role, and he basically did what Foden was doing against like West Ham, for example, and that allowed Foden to play in the centre, and that was how he played so well in that first half. That was really, really good, because he got Foden into his better position, and he was playing well in that first half, and you had Reinders into a really advanced position, and that paid off because he got the goal, and it means he's got that less of a responsibility and build-up, so that was good. And I wanted to talk a lot more about that. Second half, Chelsea changed things, though, and I'm surprised they didn't start with Santos. If you look at if you watch my preview, then you'll know that I predicted Santos to start. For some reason, he didn't. They went with Reece James in defensive midfield in their 4-1-4-1, which surprised me. They had no midfield presence, really. They had Reece James DM and then Enzo and Palmer as the eights. I was looking at that like, hello. And obviously, we were able to dominate in the first half as a consequence. So we were good, they were bad, we exploited them in the first half. Could we have scored more than one? Maybe, but we still scored. So we did enough in that first half, so not a problem for me. You can say we could have taken our chances, and perhaps we could have done, but we still did it quite well in that first half, so that's a thing. And yeah, Haaland hits the post, and I feel like there was a couple of half chances. There was nothing clear cut. I felt like, outside of, well, even the goal wasn't really clear cut. We missed a couple of half chances, maybe. Because even the Haaland one where he hits the post, it's not easy. And there's a Bernardo one where he tries to cut in as well. It's not easy. There's a Foden one where he cuts into creating for himself. It's not easy. There were a couple like that, but there were more half chances. Yeah, second half they changed it. They brought on Santos. They took off Esteval. They moved Palmer more so to the right off ball. That made a lot of sense. They also, I mean, my brain's pretty sweaty right now, so I need to revisit it. But the first half, they basically played a back five because of and I don't know if that was because Chelsea intentionally were doing that, because Esteval was basically playing at right wing back. Now, I don't know if that was by design or if that was just because of the positioning of O'Reilly, because we have seen that before. But either way, it meant that they were very passive and they weren't able to come on to us. Second half, they changed things. They were more solid in the midfield, and they did come on to us a little bit more. And I will need to revisit it to figure out what that was. Now, it's not helped that Gvardiol went off and Diaz went off, and we had to bring on Ake and Kusanov, and that's not an ideal situation. Chelsea had a lot of absentees as well, though. Like, Sanchez didn't start, and they had to start Badiashile instead of Fofana, and Caicedo was absent, and Cucurella was absent. So they had a lot of injuries as well. So that can't really... I mean, it can be used as a reason, but it can't be used as a... oh, you see, we didn't really have a chance because of all the players that were out. Like, they also had a lot of players that were out. But the first half, here's a stat for you. Yeah? I need to look up, because again, my brain was just not able to concentrate in that second half. So I need to try to watch it again and assess why the game just went away from us so much in that second half. But in the first half, and what a lot of this was down to how Chelsea played. First half, we had 68% of the ball, so we had basically total control. They had one shot, of which I can't... Oh, they had the Estevao one on the... To be fair, on the counter, but yeah. But second half, we had 46% of the ball. So we had less than half of the possession. So the game went away from us. Obviously, we weren't able to hold on to the ball as much, clearly. Now, a lot of that was because of the players who I've just named there. And the reason why I'm being so harsh on them, and I'll repeat, I think this is the first game where they've both been bad, and it's the first game, no, or rather, it's not even close, actually. It's easily Foden's worst game of the season, and it's easily Shirky's worst game of the season as well. I know passing accuracy isn't everything, but just to try to put into context how lax we were in possession, 79% pass accuracy for Foden, 80% for Shirky, so essentially identical. Then even a player like Bernardo, 84%. Those are players who you normally associate with, like, high 8s or 9s. Just giving away the ball way too much. Way too much. So Foden gave away 8. So Foden had 8 inaccurate passes. Shirky had 12. And I get it that it's not useful to look at pass accuracy for your more attacking players, but there were moments where we did not need to do some of the shit that they were doing. Like, it's a team game. So whenever I talk about an individual in this stream, I need to make it I need everyone, because what I don't like about, well, I know it's football fans generally, I don't like it unless there's a very specific massive error which has actually cost us the game. This was not a game where one player was the reason why we lost. This is why I've named Foden and Shirky and Bernardo, and I will be naming O'Reilly and Ake for their goal as well. So I just need to make that clear whenever I'm talking about, like, players making errors and blah 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 blah. It takes it takes 11 to tango in this case, and it wasn't all 11 players. Roger was lovely, but you get what I mean. Hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. As an example, in the 93rd minute, I thought, the 92nd minute, whenever it was, basically it's the final possession that we have before Chelsea score. So we give away a free kick, and then from that free kick, Chelsea have the ball and they score from it. It's the 93rd minute, or late in the 92nd minute. I can't fucking remember, but it was some bullshit. Yeah. I repeat, I'm going to name players here, but I'm not saying that they are totally at fault, because I've just named everyone. I know some people don't get upset at blah 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 blah. It's the 93rd minute. Why is Shirky doing this really weird little impossible dink for Bernardo, where it's nearly impossible for him to control, and then Bernardo gives it away because he's being harassed by players, and then Bernardo gives away the foul? What is going on? Just like details like that, and I'm sure there were loads of them throughout the match, but that was the one that stood out to me because it ultimately led to the goal. What are we doing? Why are we dicking around? Just play a simple pass sideways or backwards, and don't dick around. It's very annoying. It's very, very frustrating. Yes? I don't understand what happened there. It was very annoying. There's no need to give away the ball there. Shirky, Bernardo, I don't know what we're doing. Very annoying. I forgot what I was going to say now. I guess I'll touch on their goal, because someone said O'Reilly. Yeah, it's bad from a number of our defenders. It's bad from O'Reilly. He just gets beaten horrendously by Gusto. And then it's unfortunate from Ake. He puts his leg out. He doesn't get anywhere near enough contact on it. The deflection ends up falling perfectly for Enzo. So you can argue that, like, City got unlucky in, like, the dying embers, and that's fine, but I just didn't like how the game just went so hopelessly away from us in that second half. Was it just, and I'm not, this isn't especially good. This isn't going to be a good stream because I don't really know what the answer is. I think part of it is definitely because players like Foden, Shirky, Bernardo are normally so much better in their decision making and their actions, and they just weren't at all. I don't know what the answer for that is, because Foden has been one of our best players this season, and Shirky has been one of our best players this season. They've both been fantastic this season, but today they were dross, and I don't know what the answer is for why they were both bad at the same time. I don't know. Is it just because, I'm spitballing because I don't know the answer, is it just because they have played so many games all back-to-back, and we know that we've been like topping the charts for running numbers this season, and so because they're tied to the decision making takes a consequence? Is it as simple as that? I don't know. I seriously don't know. I don't think I know Chelsea packed the midfield more so, but it wasn't like there was a tactical dilemma going on in that second half that I could see that Chelsea were really giving to us. It was just odd decisions or really weird lackluster moments. It was very odd. Yeah, Foden's been one of our best. I'd say he's been our second best player this season, yeah. But today, horrible, awful. Well, second half anyway. Again, first half, I thought the performance was actually all right. And then it doesn't help when your build-up structure is Donnarumma, Kusanov, Ake, O'Reilly, Nunes. That compounds things, obviously. So it's like this combination of shit, isn't it? Where the players who you normally rely on to play well and basically do the build-up for you and retain the ball, they were shit. So therefore, that basically exposes the frailties elsewhere, because if you are so reliant, I guess the word is, on those players, and clearly we have been this season. I think we saw it against Sunderland, and this is why it was very funny, I thought, when we had the Sunderland game, and you got people going, oh, you see, the problem was just we had to bring Rodri into the side and he fixes everything. Well, Rodri is the best midfielder in the world, in my opinion. That can't be the solution. The solution cannot be just start Rodri. If you need Rodri in your sides to have control of a game, there's a problem, clearly. The squad has not been built especially well, if that is the case. If you need to have Rodri in the side. And we saw today that if you take Gvardiol out, then it's going to make it even harder. It's going to make it even harder for us. And Rodri can only do so much. He can't do everything. He can't do everything all on his own. He needs those others around him to do something. He can obviously be a bandage, a plaster to a degree, but if you get shot, and if you're getting shot multiple times, there's only so much that plasters and stitches are going to do. At some point, you are going to bleed out and die. And that's basically what happened in the second half. So we can talk about how it was bad individually from Shirky and Bernardo giving away the foul and giving away the ball. We can talk about how it was bad individually from O'Reilly to lunging on Gusto when he should have just backed off. We can talk about how it was bad for... I still haven't decided whether it was bad or unfortunate from Ake. I'll need to watch it back. Where it took a deflection off him. We can all talk about that, but if you lose control, and this is why I refuse to put this game down to like bad luck, and this is why I'm annoyed at this game, and I wasn't annoyed at the Sunderland game. I don't think the performances are very similar on any level. We controlled, certainly the second half, we absolutely controlled and dominated that second half, and we created big chance after big chance after big chance. We didn't do that today. Certainly not in the second half anyway. I don't accept that they were remotely similar performances or games. That's why I was pretty chill the other day. I'm really pissed off. I was going to say shitting myself, but that means you're scared. I'm shitting myself with anger from that second half performance. Because if you lose control and you struggle to sustain pressure on the opponent, then you get what happened in the second half versus the first half, where it was all lovely and we had... Well, it wasn't all lovely, but there were some very good performances in that first half, even from players who didn't play especially well in the second half. And I don't know whose fault it is. And it's probably too reductive to blame it on one individual, but I think that it's probably a combination of shit that the players you are so desperately reliant on to perform in that sense, Foden, Shirky, Bernardo, and Rodri, 3/4 of them did not perform today. So that means that the players who struggle regardless, i.e. Donnarumma, sometimes O'Reilly, often Nunes, often Diaz, and then Ake as well, even more pressure is put on them to, like, be competent, and they aren't. So there were a lot of unfortunate circumstances. Of course there were. It's unfortunate that Gvardia went off, and he had to go off, and he had to be like he had to be helped off. If he's out for, like, I don't even know. I'm going to look at our games. I might be about to say something that I regret here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If he's out for like a month, these are the games we have. Plus 4 days, but entertain me. Brighton, the Premier League. Brighton, Man United away, Wolves, okay, fine. Spurs away, Liverpool away. If Gvardiol is unavailable for all of those games, I will say that we don't win the title. And I don't care if that's a reactive thing to say. I don't care. If it's more than that, then we will... I don't even know like what the next level down from that is. I don't know. Have we had... Here's a question. Wait, let me check something. I'm about to ask a question, but let me... I've maybe got the answer. No, okay. Question. Have we had a game in the Premier League this season where we've had both... No, what am I trying to say here? I had a point and I've forgotten what it was. The point I'm trying to make is that I don't think that... Okay, here's the point. Here's the point that I'm trying to say. I don't think that if a team comes onto us, I don't think I've ever seen a City side that has one of Gvardiol, Rodri absent, or rather both of them absent. No, one of them absent, and we've still been able to succeed in respect of our building out from the back and controlling the game. That's a shit sentence. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Do you guys know what I'm trying to say? Because I seriously don't. What I'm trying to say is that if we don't have... if we only have one of them, it's not enough, is what I'm trying to say, I think. I don't think I've seen it this season where we've had both of them and it's been bad. Every single time they've been in the sides together, which isn't often, it's been good, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think we've ever had it, because at the start of the season, Gvardiol wasn't in the sides. Even when, like, Rodri was in the sides at times earlier in the season, Gvardiol was injured. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to reiterate how crucial he is. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that even with Rodri in the side, okay, that's great. If you don't have Gvardiol, I don't know if it's enough. That's all I'm trying to say. I think you need both of them in order to have sustained pressure in the match. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, apologies. My brain did massive farts then. I'm rattled. I'm annoyed and I'm upset. I'm rattled, I'm annoyed, I'm upset. I will need to rewatch it. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I lost it a little bit in the second half, and I don't really know who is to blame. I feel like the answer is the just build-up structure generally, but it may well just be that we kept twatting it away and giving the ball away and that sort of thing. So I'll need to look at it again. I'll need to watch it, but I think it's a combination. It's okay, Foden, Shirky, and Bernardo kept giving away the ball. But it can't just be that, can it? There has to be more to it. And I think that was the case. Yoshko goes off, and we stink up the gaff. And what minute did he go off, actually? Oh, Yoshko, how I love thee. God, I love Gvardiol. What minute did he go off, chat? 51st. Fuck me. Yeah. Yeah, and then from there, yeah, it's all a bunch of booty. Yeah. And if he's out for an extended period of time, then we are shafted, guys. I'll be so honest. Because even if this isn't about this game in isolation, and I think it probably is, but even if it's also just about games generally, if you try to have a build-up structure which is Donnarumma, O'Reilly, Ake, Diaz, Nunes, you're gonna have a bad time. There are way too many liabilities in that back five. Ake is one of them. Donnarumma is one of them. Diaz can be all right. Nunes and O'Reilly don't have the cleanest first touch. There's no real experts, RE, technical assurance in that back five. Rodri is a human being, and I do not know if he can do it all on his own. So we're going to see what happens, of course. Hopefully Gvardio's not out for too long. It looks bad, though. And it now means that if he is out for a long time, it means that, first of all, we are now 100% reliant on Rodri to not get injured, first of all, but also to just be able to try to hold the hand of everyone. He's only got two hands. He can't hold everyone's hand. So it means that if Rodri isn't having a 10 out of 10 performance, and if Bernardo, Foden, Shirky aren't also playing exceptionally well, and they're not going to be able to play as well from now on, if that is the case, then we are going to struggle, and I'm so concerned about that. And once again, I'll look back. I'll look back and try to figure out what was the main problem. Was it just basically Foden, Shirky, Bernardo? Are they the key culprits? Or was it elsewhere? Was it further behind them? I don't know. I don't know. It did make me laugh when Rodri came back and the ideas that were being thrown around. That all you had to do was play the best midfielder in the world, and there actually wasn't really a problem. Yeah. So all of that happened, I guess. Right, this has been a productive stream, because I guess I've sort of figured out... You know what, I'm going to come to the chat. Because I think I need to... I think I've ignored you and just shouted. I'm sorry if this isn't especially useful. I'm so deflated, if you couldn't tell. I'm so deflated, man. I think we had to win this game, you know. I'm not saying the title race is over. I'm not saying the title race is over, because that's silly. Because it is still only 6 points, and 3 of those are at the Etihad. But I'm like... it's hard. It's hard for me to big myself up. Do you know what I mean? It's hard for me to try to look on the bright side. And I try to, I don't try to be positive. I try to be realistic, in fairness. I don't think I am. I don't really get it when people say I'm overly negative or I'm a happy clapper. I think I'm just realistic. And if you're overly positive, then that comes across as pessimistic. If you're overly negative, then it comes across as being blasé and happy clapper. I think I'm more realistic. I'm trying to be realistic here, to be honest. Sorry, Salmon. I'm sorry, mate. This is a really good point. And no disrespect to O'Reilly, because I do love him. And I think he's been better than this season. The problem, though, is that because O'Reilly's been so fucking good this season, it's like hard to justify starting Aït-Nouri over him. But I still believe in my heart, in my head, that Aït-Nouri is the longer term better option to have there, because he is so technically assured, and he would absolutely help out. Sorry. Kusan's passing was great today, though. I don't consider Kusanov a. You'll notice I didn't even name him in the thing, because I think we'll probably go for a left footer. I don't think Kusanov is like bad building. I actually think that he's quite good, but he's a multiple tiers down from what I think we need, and like from what Gvardiol is and what Stones was. Yeah, Trafford will never play. That's not a solution, because it will never happen. Rodri needs to build up the play and progress the ball from the midfield into the attack. He needs to do it on his own, apparently Spartacus. Champions League fight, here we go. Hey, that's a good point, to be fair. That's a good point. If we have, like, Haaland... Because that's the thing, the Champions League is all about moments. I can't believe I'm talking about this, but the Champions League is all about moments, isn't it? If Haaland is in front of goal in the right moment and scores, and it sounds so stupid to say, but you know what I mean, or if like Donnarumma has one of those games like he did last season rather than the other seasons, then there's a chance to win it, isn't there? So it's not wrong. Do you remember after United 3-0, I said Donnarumma on ball isn't shit and it's decent? I'm sorry, I take everything back, says Yazan. Brilliant. Sorry, Andrew, we let you down, mate. Do we think the title's done? I'm not saying the title's done, because there's 6 points in it, and 3 of those we are in control of. This isn't an excuse. I think it is a reason, though, and that is different, in fairness. Again, it's not good enough. It's not good enough, because Chelsea had loads of players injured as well. It's not good enough. But it obviously hasn't helped today with Diaz and Gvardiol both going off. That's the thing. It hasn't helped that Aït-Nouri and Marmoush are at AFCON. It hasn't helped that what am I trying to say? Hasn't helped that all these players are out, basically. And it hasn't helped that as a consequence we've had to start all the players all the time. Therefore, I think it's led to this situation. Because I don't know... Because Foden is a lot better than the player we saw today. Shirky is a lot better than the player we saw today. But... And I don't think it's anything to do with... Because Nintendo says, could it be to do with how they played? I don't think it's anything to do with... how they played. No, one was... Yeah. No, wait, what? My brain is so cooked, man. I can't remember what I was going to say. No, how they were used. It's nothing to do with how they were used. It's because I think they were used pretty optimally. You had Foden in the middle. You had Shirky in the middle, with rotating with Bernardo. When they got into those moments, they weren't good enough on an individual level. I don't think there's any higher tactical thinking going on there. Big up to Flaws. I'll come to you super chat in a second, matey. Dressed like a Kingsman. That's your random movie quote, and that is from Kingsman, the Secret Service. Why did Pep Roulette vanish? I mean, Matty, look at our bench. Look at our bench today. We had Doku, who isn't fully fit. He's not able to start yet. And we had some centre-backs. And that was it. So Pep's not rotating because we don't really have the options, to be honest, I think. Or they are there and he doesn't trust them. Semenyo coming in will help, in fairness, especially now that Savio is out for however long, which is a shame. I don't expect City to do any panic buying, though. Need to recall a kanji. Chill, Johnny. I love GG, but how many times will we put our fullbacks in trouble when building up from the back? It's not ideal. They are moments, Kings. Absolutely, they are. They can do something out of nothing. You're not wrong. The problem is we suck, says Dylan. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, that there was one moment that Donnarumma did, which was really good, building out from the back. I can't remember what the move was, but it was really nice, as I was impressed. And I was like, oh. And then I realized that, oh, and this is something I said in the video, there's a difference between having an action and being able to sustain it. Yeah, exactly, Joe. That's why it's unacceptable. Unacceptable for me. Thank you so much, Flaws, for the super chat. Does Semenyo make a difference tonight? I don't think so, because if Semenyo was going to play tonight, he would have played instead of one of Reinders or Shirky. And Reinders was good. Like, he scored a goal. So I don't know. It probably, and actually no, it would have helped if he was on the bench, because when it was clear the game was going away from us, and when it was clear that both Foden and Shirky were off it, you'd probably take Shirky off and bring on Semenyo, and then City probably are in a better, because at that point, in fairness, the game was more end to end. Like, there was far more space to attack, and that is Semenyo's bread and butter. And this is something that, spoilers, guys, the Semenyo video is finished, apart from all the clips I need to put in, but it's all edited. And one of the things I say in it is that, you know, maybe start Shirky because against like a low block side, and then when it gets more open, bring on Semenyo. So that would have been the utilization of him. Yeah, sorry, I've neglected you. Can we stop the silly debate about who the best keeper in the world is now, please, after today? I don't know if the goal was his fault, though, to be fair, Toby. I do agree that the on-ball work is unacceptable, in my opinion, but I don't think that he was at fault for the goal, was it? I'll watch it back, but I don't think he was. Could Arsenal win the quadruple? Sure. Nobbins a centre-back. Hey, I can play as a lefty, why not? This was Savio's game, low-key. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, he would have been a good option to bring on. Pep said in an interview, Gavardio out and doubts with Diaz not going to be easy from here. Yeah. It's the Gavardio one for me. The Diaz one we can get away with because you can play Kusanov there. It's not too much of a problem for me. It's Gavardio is a ridiculous. The downgrade from Gavardio, and this isn't, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm having a go because he played really well against Sunderland, but the downgrade from Gavardio to Ake is like, I don't even know what that is. As a gap, I'm scared of heights. That's how fucking big that gap is. Sorry, Ake, but Gavardio is Gavardio. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for the super chat. If Lewis won't be used, what was the point of keeping him and giving him a contract? That midfield needs help. I tell you what, he could have been a good player to bring on. Was he on the bench? He was. He probably would have been a good player to bring on instead of Foden or Shirky, because he is a player who keeps the ball. So I do agree. He would have probably been nice to bring him on. The goal was terrible shot stopping. Do you think so? I'll watch it again. What do you guys think? That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I guess you could say that if you save a shot and it goes straight back out to the player, does it matter how good the initial shot is? Whether that's at fault or not is irrelevant. Stuff like that penalty save that he did, like he saved the penalty but then went straight back out to the player. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Unfortunately. But either way, I'm not really interested in like whether he was at fault for the goal or not. And instinctively, I didn't think he was. But if he can't save it, he can't save it. Why the lights off? Because I'm upset. I'm upset, that's why. We simply can't go into 4 games in 2 weeks with Kusanov and Ake as the only centre-backs. Well, Steve, it looks like that's what we've got, matey. It looks like that's what we've got. Could Gahey help the Gavardio problem? I mean, he'd be better than Ake there, I guess, so maybe. But I don't think that's worth it. Ake's unreliable in terms of staying fit. Fuck me, man. I don't know. Move Gavardio back to left back. He is injured, my guy. He's injured for an amount of time. Hello? Bernardo left back shifts. Chill, chill, chill. I don't think there's too much Don could have done. Instinctively, that's what I felt. For the shot anyway, but I mean, we know the negative impact that he's had on that second half, and it's just unacceptable. God. Right. What am I saying? Yeah, the light does reflect my mood, absolutely. Right, yeah, so what's the what did I have to say? Did I have anything else to say? I feel like I feel like I did. I guess the main problem is that we play again in 3 days. So it's all well and good, like me saying, well, I think that, you know, it would be ideal if like this player could come out of the side for a little bit, that sort of thing. Do we even have the fucking like players to do it? I don't know what you do next game. It seems unlikely that even if we signed Semenyo like tomorrow, that he'd be up and running and available to play. I don't know how it works. It seems unlikely that Semenyo will be available to play against Brighton. That seems unlikely. If he is available, what I would probably do is I would give Foden and Shirky a break against Brighton. I'd have them on the bench and I'd rotate them out, because all I can put their performance down to was fatigue. That's all I can really think of. I don't know what else it is, because they've both been excellent this season. And so I don't know why else it would it would happen to both of them at the same time. Is it just because of a tricky December schedule? That's all my brain can really come up with. So ideally, I'd like to see them both taken out of the side for a game. A game, because we play Brighton at home, and then Exeter. Don't even have them in the fucking squad for that game. Like, give them a night off, whatever. Hall and fatigue as well. The problem is we definitely can't rotate him out. But then it's like, okay, but then what do you do? Because, okay, Doku in for Foden, let's say, fine. That's good. But then, like, Shirky, I don't think there's any other option, really, for Shirky, because Savio is out. And Bob is leaving or whatever. So, unless Semenyo is signed, one of them is going to have to play. At least. So, I don't really know what we're going to do. Well, we're probably going to just start them again, I guess. Doku right, Reinders left. Who do you have in midfield then? Are you starting Lewis then, Spartacus, based on that? Rodri, Lewis, Bernardo, question mark? If you want to give them both a rest, but we're not going to do that, are we? We're going to have to play them, at least one of them again. At least one. I'd really like Foden to be given a rest, because whenever these fucking running metrics come out, like Foden's right at the top every single time, and it's admirable that he's doing that, but at what point do we say it's impacting your game and enough is enough? I like that he's able to do it, it's great, but is it sustainable until it impacts performances negatively? I don't know. I feel like it probably isn't, and it probably does. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the long term now because the Gavardiol injury shafted my brain. I don't know what we're going to do there. Toby's got a question. Shoot. Is Nico G out long term? I don't know. Foden left back for build up. Oh my god. Is Savio long term? I do not know. I do not know, to be honest with you. I feel like this deeper situation for Foden's not good. Want him higher up. You can't, but Diaz, you can't really do that because we know that we need him deeper. We need him deeper to help out with our build-up. Playing badly today doesn't change the fact that one of the reasons why we have been able to succeed, even sometimes under pressure, it hasn't happened a lot, hasn't happened all the time, sorry, but it is because Foden drops deep and basically helps out our structure. So he sort of does have to do that. Now, whether that's optimal is another conversation to be had. In an ideal world, he would just, well, I mean, in an ideal world, City would just be camped in their final third, but we don't live in that world, unfortunately, and that's a thing. Now, never say never, Yazan. Never say never. You can't give up yet. It's still only just past the halfway stage. You can't give up yet. And Rodri will play every single minute because Nico got injured. Yeah, for some prayers with Rodri's knee. But the frustrating thing is that Shirky is a press master. Toby, what is this? Obviously, I go out. Hello, and I just FaceTime Mrs. Nobbins. Come on, Toby. Come on, mate. What are you doing? This is what I mean. This is why it's such a weird game, because Shirky is and has illustrated he can be fantastic at making those decisions. Same with Foden. But today it wasn't there. And then, so that means that it falls back on the shit structure at the back. And I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm really hopeful that I'm just overreacting, and Gavardiol being out isn't going to make it like bad. But here's the example I keep going back to, and maybe this isn't fair because we hadn't settled on what our best team was back then. But the Brighton game. Trafford is a better on-ball goalkeeper than Donnarumma. He's actually good. And maybe it's just because it was like his early nerves or whatever, but he was making some rash decisions in that Brighton game. That was a game where Rodri played. And we still struggled. And I put that down to the fact that we didn't have a left-footed... well, we didn't have Gavardiol on the pitch. I said we don't have a left-footer on set at centre-back, and that's why it's tricky. But really, I meant it's because it's Gavardiol. And we struggled in that game with a better ball-playing goalkeeper and with Rodri on the pitch. And we struggled in that game. That's how important I think Gavardiol is. Even with a better ball-playing goalkeeper, even with Rodri on the pitch. It still wasn't good enough. Like, the reason why we lost that Brighton game was because, well, again, Foden wasn't on the pitch and Shirky wasn't on the pitch that day, and we hadn't settled on our back four, and Nunes did a dumb error. So, you know what I mean. But the point I'm making is we struggled in that game, and I put that down to Gavardiol not being in the side, and now we don't have him in the side, and I'm really concerned because we got some games where we got teams who are going to come at us. We got Newcastle away. We've got Brighton at home. Thankfully, we've got Wolves at home, which is nice, but we then got to go away to Spurs. I know they've been bad this season, but hey, it's us against Spurs. And then we've got to play Newcastle again. And then we've got to go away to Liverpool. And then a couple weeks after that, sorry, we've got to play Newcastle again. Just... I'm very deflated at the whole situation. The injuries have fucked me off. The bad performances from some of our best players have fucked me off. And let's not run revision, by the way. Because I saw that in the chat earlier. I tried to ignore it as much as possible. I'm trying to be calmer this season. Didn't work at the start of the season. I've been a lot better in the past few months. I see some people say that, you know, this play, well, Foden's been bad all season, or Shirky's not been good enough recently, blah, 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 blah. That's bollocks. This was a bad game for them, but we aren't going to rewrite history. I know the game was bad, but it wasn't bad enough to rewrite history, you know. This isn't DeLorean FC. I'm going to start oh my god, great slander name. People who revise history, DeLorean FC. It's a Back to the Future pun. Where's my DeLorean? It's over there. Guys, I showed it here. I think, look at it. I need to wall mount it. Look at that. DeLorean FC, yeah? Actually, that's a compliment because this film's sick. Also, guys, I know you'll be interested. I treated myself this morning before I did some Semenyo work to like building my next Lego Star Wars project. It's a separatist MTT. Look at the play feature. The droid rack comes out. It's kind of cool. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. And it goes in like that, and it automatically. Oh, look at that! It drops the boys into battle. Yeah, it's kind of sick. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing after this stream. I'm going to be finishing this bad boy to calm myself. It's a lot of yes, of course we're talking about Lego. A lot of shit is happening all at once. That's fair, Alex. You know, that's reasonable. Since you got on calming over Lego. Can I build a centre back? I'll get right on that. Of course I play Star Wars games, yeah. Can we just talk about Lego so we have to think about the game anymore, says Yanko. Yeah, man, Jesus. I'm trying to know. I need to know how long. I'm sorry if I keep repeating this. I just need to know how long Gavardio's out for. That's the one for me. If Savio's out for an extended period, okay, we have Doku coming back and we're going to sign Semenyo. If Diaz is out for an extended period, okay, it's not ideal, but we have Kusanov there. That's fine. I think, apart from Rodri, I think that Gavardiol is our most important player. I think. I don't think that's an exaggeration. And he's irreplaceable. It's not even like we have Stones because he's always fucking injured. So I need to know how long Josh goes out for, and then I'll be able to gauge on. Then I'll be able to gauge what we can do this season. I think it's ACL. Wait, what? Is that just speculation, though? That's just speculation, yes. Gavardio doesn't look good. Okay. Yeah, well, I need more. I need more. You look. If he's out for months, then yeah, that is game. Fuck's sake. I'm so upset. Look like Achilles, says Matilde. I don't know what else to talk about. I feel like I'm going in circles. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that you want me to talk about, guys? Like, any individual or whatever? I feel like I've shouted at Foden and Shirky for about 54 minutes. I was so. It's annoying because I thought that the first half, Foden especially, I thought he was having like a good game. I was enjoying the performance in the first half, especially from Phil. Shirky, even though the pass didn't reach the intended target, I still liked the idea. I still liked the idea to try to play him in, and it did lead to the goal, so I still like that. Yeah, I just don't understand the second half, man. But once again, it was one of those games where it's like, okay, 70th minute, you bring them both off. That's what you should do. Foden passed to Holland instead of giving it to Shirky alone. There were a number of moments where Foden, the pass wasn't good enough or the decision wasn't good enough. Shirky, likewise, the pass wasn't good enough or the decision wasn't good enough. That 93rd minute situation where Shirky's like doing a weird lob. What is he doing? I don't get it. Just play this ball on the floor sideways. It's not hard. And then Bernardo dicks around and he can't control it and he twats it out and then we give away a foul and then the goal. Fucking 93rd, 4th minute fucking equaliser. So that happened. Too many bad performances in one day. Unfortunately. And it's annoying because, like, I'm going to sound like really petty, but I don't even think Chelsea were good, man. I'm not saying they didn't deserve a draw because the way we played in that second half, we did not deserve to win that game, but it's not like Chelsea, like, took the game, or they dictated the game to us, but it's not like they were bombarding us and playing really well, and we just fucking gave them it. It's so stupid. No, they weren't. Do I want to do player ratings? Not especially, to be honest with you, mate. I guess we can. Should we do player ratings, guys? To like make me maybe it'll be what's the term? Is it cathartic where you like get things off your chest? Is that the term I'm after? Where like you're upset and then you say it and then you feel better afterwards. Is that the term I'm after? Is it cathartic? I need to Google this now. It is. Providing psychological relief through the open expression of strong emotions. Lexicon. Lexicon is possessed on this channel. I'm exuding lexicon, yeah? Do you guys remember that? when I kept saying the wrong word? Oh, dear. You see, this is one of those moronic comments that we talked about earlier. Unfortunately, games do get the morons out. Which is a shame. Let's do some player ratings, shall we? There's no need to be stupid. There's no need to be a blithering imbecile. There's no need to be a moron. If you are a moderator, we'll time you out. With my consent. Thank you very much. Because that's the last thing I want to do. The last thing I want to do is deal with idiots. When I'm already in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Okay. Right, guys. Finalysis. Player ratings. Give them all a 5. A 5 is average, though, mate. It can't be a 5. No one likes an idiot. Jack, you know what to do if people keep annoying me. Donnarumma. Good first half. I liked his build-up. Or rather, there was one pass I liked. The save is largely irrelevant because it was pushed straight out to a Chelsea player. And ultimately, the hoofs were hoofing. I'm gonna give him a 55. Average. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he did anything especially good. I'm sorry if this sounds harsh. Respectfully, I'm not going to give credit for the save because it went straight back to a player. I'm not saying that's his fault, but it's just a reality. So I'm just going to say average, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to rate him. Diaz went off injured. Oh, that's this. Look, he wasn't on the pitch when the goal was scored, so that happened. He won 4 out of 5 aerial duels. Did Ruben? I am keeping an eye on the aerial duels today. What's the Donna agenda, Olive? Donna out of Donna, hello. What am I giving? I don't know. I don't think he was bad, actually. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give him fucking 65. I don't care. 65. I thought he had a fine game. Thought he had fine game. Not a problem. Not a problem for me. Can't remember him doing anything wrong. I think he intercepted like the time when they came forwards as well. That sort of thing. You get me. Right, Yoshko is tricky because he only played one half of football, really. So the minutes, unfortunately, the minutes argument has to be weighted against him because he only played 50 minutes. Yeah, I thought it was good when he was on the pitch. What are we saying for Gvardiol, guys? What are you giving Gvardiol out of 10/100? Lucky Try says 67. It's Never That Deep says 6. 7-3 says 67. 65. I'll go 67. Why not? Why not? I don't care at this point. Oh my god. Right, Nunes. I thought that he was quite good overall, you know. Just having a look at his defensive actions. Won all his ground duels. What a boy. Some boy. There's that one moment when Neto sort of did him, but I don't know how much of that was Nunes' fault. In all honesty. So I think I'm going to give him a high 6 here. There's nothing he could do for their goal, really, either. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 70. I thought he had a good game, in all honesty. I thought he had a good game. O'Reilly, unfortunately, he has to shoulder a lot of the blame for their goal on an individual level because Gusto beat him far too easily. He overcommitted, and we score from it. A goal conceded does not a performance make, but that is going to have to go against him, I'm afraid. Not that I thought he had like a bad game overall, not at all, but it's a bad error in the end. Yeah, he was good in the first half. That's why it's not going to be a low rating, but it's not going to be a high. It can't be a high rating either. Because I think without that mistake, he probably gets like a similar rating to Nunes. I'd have given him like either a high 6 or a low 7. But because of the error, I think I'm going to give him a 6. I think I'm going to bump it down to a 65. So I think that's reasonable in fairness. I think that's reasonable. Rodri was man of the match. He was very lovely, wasn't he? Yeah, he was great. We let him down. There's no other way to say it. We let him down. Yeah, defensively, outstanding. The switches, the forward passes, just controlling the tempo, etc., etc. He was very, very good. So I think I'm going to give him... what am I going to give him? 7 is good. 8 is great. I thought that he was great, so I'm going to give him an 80 based on that. Just to make me feel better so I can give someone with an 8 something. Because no one else is getting that high, I'll be so honest. Right. Reinders scored the goal. New role for him. I've never seen him play like this. I've never seen him used in this role for City, obviously. I've never seen him used like this for Milan. Never seen him used like that for the Netherlands. Maybe he has played there before. I've never seen it. Basically playing as a left winger, out of possession, then moving inside. Scored the goal. Looked good overall. So this is going to be something beginning with a 7. Yeah, I thought he just had a nice. I thought he just had a nice, good game. In all honesty, I thought he just had a nice, good game. He was good 78, says Lucky Tries. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna match Louise. I'm gonna go. I'm feeling a 75. I'm feeling a cheeky 75. For Reinders. Good game, a solid, good game from him. Okay, now we come into players who are all going to be. Like, just an FYI, guy, I'm not going to... all of these players, I think, are going to be below 5. I think. I'm just going to repeat my ranking structure, because I normally start from 5 and go up. Now I'm going to have to start from 5 and go down. Okay. 50 is average. Or 5. 5 or 50 is average, okay? 4 or 40 is below average. 3 or 30 is bad. I think we're going to see a fair few 3s here. 3s and 4s. 2 is like... There's not going to be any 2s, by the way. It wasn't that bad. But 2 would be like, for the whole 90 minutes, you were god-awful. And 1... And then anything below that is like, you were like the reason why we lost this game level of bad. You know what I mean? So those are the number rankings, just an FYI. So remember, 5 is average, 4 is below average, and so on. Okay. Shirky didn't have a bad first half. It wasn't an especially notable first half, though. I don't know what ranking you'd give the first half for Shirky. But it was not good. The second half was worse. And I will repeat that I'm not saying that it is entirely his fault that we lost the game, because that's a stupid thing to say, because it's a team game. However, and I agree with you, Jack. However, he did do a stupid little lob to Bernardo for no goddamn reason, and that led to the free kick, and that led to Chelsea scoring a goal. That's incredibly picky, but it's still a reality, unfortunately. So this is going to be... I hope this is going to be the lowest ranking I give to any City player this season. And I felt that, in my opinion, Shirky was the worst player on the pitch, because he didn't have a good first half or second half. And I don't know what he offered in either half. No, that's a lie. I liked the ball through for the goal, even though it took a deflection. But you know what I mean? Like, Badiashile intercepted it, but you get what I mean. So this is going to be the lowest ranking. I don't think it's going to begin with a 2, though. I don't think I'm going to go that low. Because what did I say? 4 is below average. 3 is bad. Yeah, he was bad in the second half. And he was like, in the first half. I'd say he was like a 50 in the first half, and probably like maybe something beginning with like a 2 or a 3 in the second. So on averages, it probably bounces out to like a mid-3, doesn't it? I'm going to say 35 for Shirky. No. Yes? No. Yes? What are you guys saying? 4.1, 41, 30, 38, 30, 20, 30, 21, 34. I think 35 is fine because, again, and I'll repeat, this is the lowest ranking I'm going to give because everyone else, there's at least something that they did okay in that first half. Well, no, good in that first half, sorry, because Shirky was okay in the first half. I keep getting my words wrong. And then there's the whole free kick situation, which is bad. Right, Bernardo. Again, kept giving the ball away. in moments where it shouldn't have happened. Technically, well, no, literally, Bernardo was the one who gave the ball away, which ultimately led to the free kick, which led to the goal for Chelsea. But I would argue that it was Shirky who played him into a really bad situation with the stupid lob. So I don't know, man. Maybe like a low 4. So it's either a low 4 or a high 3. I'm not gonna. I don't think he was as bad as Shirky across the 90. I'm gonna go 4. I don't care. I'm gonna say no. No, do I think he was bad though? Do I think he had a bad game? No. You know what? I'm being too harsh. I'm gonna give him a 50. I don't care. I'm just doing that. I'm tilted. As you guys say, I'm tilted right now. I'm giving him a 50. Right. Foden is going to get a 38 from me because I actually felt the first half he was good. There was a good flick to Haaland. He won the ball back for the goal. There were some nice moments in the midfield. The second half was atrocious though, and it was not good enough. Though the only reason why it's not lower is because he wasn't involved in the mistake which led to their goal, and he was actually good in the first half. So that's why that's a thing. So that's why I've done that personally. I think that's reasonable. Because again, because if I'm doing it based on like averages, he was good in the first half. He was as bad as Shirky in the second, but at least Foden had the fact he was good in the first half to his name. So I'm going to say that it's 38 for Foden, which is the second worst rating I've given to anyone all season, I think, which is crazy. It goes to show how upset I am. Oh, and then Haaland, it's just, I don't even know. Probably something beginning with a bloody 4, I don't know. He was fun buns, that's why I've given him 38. I felt he was the second worst player on the pitch in that second half. What were we saying for Haaland? 45, 40, 35, says Louise. What are we saying? He was better second half, says Kurt. 58, the shot in the post. Yeah, that was annoying, man. $40, $59, $55. You know what? I was going to give him a 50 then because I can't. That's the ranking that I'm going to go for when I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I do not know. It's a thing. Oh dear. Well, it wasn't bad. Well, I've given him 50, which is average, which is the definition of not bad. Pep. Was there much he could have done? Could he have taken off like one of Foden or Shirky for Doku instead and moved Reinders into the midfield? Maybe he could have done. I'm just going to... Yeah, if I can't decide, I'm just going to give them 50s in all honesty. I just can't think. I'm not rating any of the subs. I'm upset. There we go. My finalysis was not submitted. Why, mate? Submit it, you bastards. Hello? Okay, they're submitted. There we go. Right. Done. Not good. Not good. But there we go. We've managed to avoid a lot of the idiots. There is still one who's still going amazingly. But apart from that, I think the chat's actually been quite well behaved today. So well done, guys. Because this was a stinky game. My average player rating was 58, apparently, which is quite high for the average. So that means that we played below average, which I guess does make sense, to be fair. To be fair. No excuses. I agree, cheeky. I agree. Jack's banned them all. Big up to Jack, because I can't be bothered with idiots. It's so real. There is plenty of Lego to be built. You're not wrong. I've got it all in front of me, yeah? I've got it all in front of me. That is the lowest I've given anyone all season, yes. 30, I don't think... 35 is the lowest I've ever given. I'm hoping I will never give anyone anything beginning with a 3. I've given 2 players a rating beginning with a 3 today. And that is the lowest it's ever been. That's the lowest it's ever been. That's crazy. Goes to show how bad they were. In the second half, I'll repeat. Because the first half, again, I thought Foden was good. But second half, unacceptable. You get me. Who are the 2 lowest? Foden, I gave 38, because even though he's bad in the second half, I at least thought he was good in the first half. And then gave Shirky 35, because what was the good thing that he did in the game? I can't actually identify it. That's why I gave him the lower rating, because I couldn't point to one thing that he did good in that game, really. I don't know. Yeah, and that, yeah, Olive. I love Shirky. He's my boy. I love him. But I'll rewatch it, and it's not one player's fault. By the way, this is why I don't like it when people say, oh, we lost all because of Savio, as Gonzalo says, or oh, we lost all because of X, Y, Z. It's very rarely down to one player. And it isn't down to just one player, because Shirky wasn't good enough, but Foden wasn't good enough, and Haaland wasn't good enough, and Bernardo wasn't good enough, and blah, 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 blah. So it's not down to one player. But if a player has an average game or a subpar game, I can normally at least point to at least one thing they did well, or a couple of good actions. I will rewatch it. I can't remember one good action he did. If anyone can let me know, let me know a minute, because I've got the game recorded, I can go back and watch it now. But I can't think of one. And that's amazing, because Shirky is a player who has loads of positive good actions to his name. But the fact I can't even really think of one is a madness. I think it just goes to show how poor we were today. So, you know? I don't know. Thank you guys so much for joining. I guess I hate my life, so I'm going to go and rewatch the game. And try to see if I can gather anything else. But yeah, in sum, if you just join later or whatever, in sum, good first half from a lot of players. Bad first half from a lot of players. And that's like the summation, I suppose. Why would you do that? Just go off memory. But I get the stills for my reviews. Like, how do you think I get the stills without watching the game? Hello? That's Fairs, Punch a Bicycle. That's Fairs. Well, hopefully you can still get some enjoyment from my review. Yeah. I just don't get it. How's my weekend? It's alright. I did some very good work on my Semenyo video, which was good. That's 19 minutes long, by the way. 19 minutes. I spoke a lot longer than I thought I was going to. I don't know when that's getting announced. It better happen, otherwise I've wasted however many hours of my life. I don't, John Cena, mate, it's tricky. Well, the main reason why I rewatch games is obviously to do videos on them, but I also watch them back just because, respectfully, most football fans are fucking idiots. So whenever I see a take and it gets repeated, and in my first watch I go, what? I have to watch it again just to make sure that I've not missed something. Do you know what I mean? So people will be saying this. And I'm like, that's not what I saw from the game. Do I need to like rewatch it again just to double check? And indeed I rewatch it and it just gives me reassurance that most people are idiots and don't know what they're talking about. And, oh yeah, they were just wrong. Understood. So that's another reason why I rewatch games, to convince my brain that I'm not being gaslit. You get me? Because there's a lot of bad takes out there, guys. I mean, we saw a lot in this chat today, I'll be quite honest. But there we go. I'm going to shoot off, but before I do, big ups to all of my beautiful members. They're going to pop up on the screen in a moment. I think less people are idiots, but more people let emotions overcome reasoning. Maybe Olive, but then they take that and they keep running with it. So even after the match events, and they will have confirmation bias all the time. Yeah, chat wasn't as bad, to be fair. Again, there were a couple of idiots. But it wasn't as bad, in fairness. Thank you so much to everyone who supports the Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone who is a member of the YouTube channel. If you'd like to become a member of the YouTube channel to support me and my work directly, you can click that link the Knobbot has provided. It's £2.99 a month, and for the lowest one, and you get exclusive content every single month, and you also get lots of lovely live perks, such as the little rat badge next to your name, and you have a glowy name, and I will just admire and respect you as well, and I promise I won't call you an idiot. Yeah? Even, and that's a lie. If you say something stupid, even as a member, I will call you out. But, you know, I'll be less harsh. You know, maybe I'll be less harsh. Maybe I'll be nice to you. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Thank you very much for watching. I'll rewatch it and I'll do my post-match analysis video tomorrow. And hopefully cooler heads will prevail tomorrow. Yes, and we will see what we see. You're right, Truces, and I would never call you out, matey. Absolutely never. Goodbye, guys.